Today, my cousin Stephanie and my sister Tanya will be joining me as audience members through Zoom. In the times of the first humans and cavemen, the hardest issues were finding enough food to eat. In today's society, especially during a pandemic, we have gone towards the complete opposite extreme where we overconsume food. This has led to diabetes type 2 and obesity, which are 100% avoidable diseases, but still remain the leading causes of death in the US today. How can someone counteract or work against these diseases? And how can we work towards living a healthier tomorrow? A lot of people argue that fasting is a very beneficial practice that not only helps spiritually but also helps the physical body from human deterioration. Today I'm going to be speaking about fasting. What is it? What are the different types of fasting? And what are short and long-term effects that benefit us from fasting? So as many of you may know already, fasting is abstaining from food or really anything for a certain amount of time or period. One example is intermittent fasting, which occurs when you eat within a certain time frame, usually 8 to 12 hours. The other time of the day, you refrain from eating. Many choose to align their eating times with their circadian rhythm or their body clock. This means eating when the body is functioning at its highest or awake. For example, bodybuilders who lift heavy weights will choose to eat and spread their time around before and after their lifting sessions. And people who work third shift positions where they go in at midnight will choose to eat during this time frame and then not eat when they return home or when they're asleep, obviously. Another type of fasting is called periodic fasting, which occurs when you eat only specific foods, or you could limit your caloric intake, and this could last a certain amount of days. What occurs during periodic fasting is that you deplete your glycogen storage, which allows the body to enter ketosis, which then leads to fat loss. The last type of fasting that I'll be speaking about today is called water fasting, which occurs when you only drink water for 24 hours. Now, this is more done on a spiritual basis, and it's not frequently done back to back or for long periods of time. Short-term benefits of fasting include fat loss, detoxification, and metabolic improvements. Now, fat loss is very controversial because many believe that no real fat is lost. They believe that sometimes water weight is lost, or perhaps, but not actual fat is lost. So many other people who actually fast have reported to fasting lowering their food intake, meaning that they are less hungry, and many professionals account this to perhaps slowing down their metabolism, which cannot be beneficial once the fast is over, due to possibly causing binge eating. Now, this one is still not 100% certain, but one thing that we know is that ketosis is reached during fat loss in the fasting period. This means that carbohydrates, which are the body's main form of energy, are all burned and ran out. So then the body will begin to use fat as energy. The benefits is that lean body mass usually remains stable during fasting, and the fat is lost, which leads us to the next point, which is detoxification. Detoxification is beneficial because when we eat a lot of processed foods or meats or foods cooked at high temperatures, there is a buildup of waste products in our digestive system. Now, this attributes to aging, diabetes, nerve damage, and organ deterioration. When fat is burned, the waste and the end products, called AGEs, are removed. In addition to being removed with the fat loss, it's also excreted through urine at high levels while fasting. Metabolic improvements include reduced inflammation, blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels improvement. In addition to this, many have said that fasting allows them to have cognitive alertness. Now I'm going to be moving into the long-term benefits of fasting, which include increased stress resistance, increased longevity, and a decreased incidence of diseases such as cancer and obesity. So, increased stress resistance happens at a cellular level. This means that the production of heat shock proteins increase, which these heat shock proteins respond to harsh conditions. So when the body is met with these harsh conditions due to high levels of heat shock proteins, the cells can then counteract whatever stress is occurring. Increased longevity has been seen in many studies done on animals who have alternating cycles of fasting or caloric restricted diets. They have seen that these animals have extended lifespans. This could be attributed to perhaps the toxins that we spoke about, the AGEs, that build up from processed or meats or cheeses. So what happens is they've noticed that mice with lower AGE diets have shown to live longer lives. Now, the final one is a decreased incidence of disease in cancer and obesity. Studies have shown that in mice who fast during chemotherapy, the fasting jumpstarts the immune system and exposes the cancer cells to the therapy. And so this shows great futuristic involvements, perhaps when we can see this occur also in humans. A decreased incidence of disease also occurs through autophagy, which autophagy is abnormal molecules and cells being eliminated. When fasting, autophagy is promoted, which allows any types of mutations to be attacked and removed by the body itself. And so this is beneficial because it won't allow these mutated cells to continue through reproductive cycles, allowing them to later become tumors and masses with more time. Now, if you're breastfeeding or if you're pregnant, you should fast alongside the help of your healthcare professional if you choose to. Fasting can also pose a risk to those who are recovering from eating disorders. There are many types of fastings. I've even done a social media fast when I feel like I need a break from it. All types of fasting present benefits. Fasting presents short and long-term benefits. My family participates in a worldwide 21-day fast of only fruits and vegetables and water. We lower our sugar and our salt intake. This is called the Daniel fast. We do this to reset our taste buds in order to enter the year with a healthy start. And by eating fruits and vegetables, this automatically restricts our caloric intake. Fasting has been very beneficial to my life, and I think it would be an amazing experience if you would try it yourself. Thank you.